If your product or service isn't selling, we have some answers. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Dan Droz here at the Droz Zone. If you're having a hard time selling your product or service, and you're thinking about lowering your price in order to sell more stuff or to increase the perceived value, just hold on for a minute. But if you're lowering your price in order to make it up in volume or to increase your perceived value because you've lowered the price, think again. It's important not to confuse operational efficiency with margin deficiency. Here's why. When you choose price reduction as a marketing strategy, a lot of things can happen, most of them not very good. The first is you lower your perceived value. Now, you think that by lowering your price, you increase the perceived value, but it turns out that a lot of people actually define the value of your product or experience the value of your product based on the price. So by reducing the price, you actually lower, not increase, the perceived value of that product or service. Second is, unless you figured out a way to actually lower the cost, the operating cost or the manufacturing cost of your product or service, chances are you are actually lowering your margin. And finally, if you're lowering your margin and there's no money left to invest in the company, the first thing to go probably is real marketing. So by reducing your price by 25%, you are actually using that 25% as marketing budget, and 25% to actually get or keep a customer is a lot of money. So what do you do? Here are some promotional methods that might be able to help you outside of outright price reduction. The first is value-added promotion. Now, what's a value-added promotion? It's adding an additional service at no additional cost. So this can take the form, for example, of free shipping or free gift wrap or free installation. These are things that you're actually doing, and you might actually incur an additional cost to do on your end, but from the consumer standpoint, it actually is at no additional price. So you're not reducing your price, but you're actually increasing the perceived value at a certain price. Second strategy is upselling, sometimes upselling and impulse items. So if, for example, you want to create more revenue and profit, you can use three strategies for upselling. One is cross-selling. So cross-selling is where you actually offer a related product with a product that you're already selling. So that could be like ties with shirts, or socks with shoes, or lamps with tables. Another form of that is upselling by adding features to the same products, but with added benefit. So that would be like you're selling a car with a roof rack. It is increasing the value of that product by adding an additional benefit or product or service that goes with it. It's all the extras that go along with the car. And then there's a third form, which is add-on selling or impulse buying, sometimes referred to as why-nots. Take IKEA, for example. So you're at IKEA, you're looking for a bed or a bedroom suit or a dining room suit, and you spend 2 hours looking and trying, and finally you get to the checkout line, and there's 100 items there, none of which you came to the store to buy, like votive candles. So no one goes to IKEA, or very few people actually go to IKEA to buy 6 dozen votive candles. But there you are in the checkout line, you've got your bed or you've got your sofa, so what's another 6 dozen votive candles? As long as you're there buying a bed, you can buy a few of those other items. Those are impulse items, and those can be actually value added when they're combined with upselling. Another is where you combine actually value added promotions with upselling. Take something like free shipping with orders over $40, which puts the strings of an upsell side by side with a value added promotion. So those are some strategies to help you increase your perceived value without actually increasing the price through upselling. Third strategy is lost leaders, which is a specialized form of upsell. So, for example, how does Sears make a profit on a refrigerator that they're selling for $3.99. Well, maybe they don't. You get there and you see one that's $4.49 or $4.99, which is actually closer to the one you really want. So for an extra $5 a month or $6 a month, you get what you want. The consumer is actually drawn to the store because of a lower price, but through positioning and selling, you're able actually to sell a much higher value product to that consumer without a lot of additional cost. And you get them actually more of what they're looking for. And then the fourth strategy is entitlement marketing. And entitlement marketing is a relatively little understood but extremely powerful marketing method. So to avoid lowering the perceived value of a product or service, entitlement marketing is a use it or lose it strategy. An example are rebates. So rebates are an entitlement. They have a high perceived value, like 25% or a $50 rebate. So you buy a product like a computer, you get a $50 rebate. It turns out that a very small percentage of people actually redeem those rebates. So even if you have a 25% or 30% rebate, only 5% or 10%, probably tops 15% of your customers are going to actually redeem that. So it has a high perceived value, but at a very low cost. Again, value-added promotion. Another example is what some private schools or colleges do. They have a Dean's Scholarship. Okay, so what's a Dean's Scholarship? This is an entitlement that you get, like $5,000 towards your tuition, if your grades are maintained at a certain level. So this is value-added, an entitlement. Now, if your grade average drops, then you lose that entitlement, but you're at the school, you've made friends, you've already invested a year or two, and so you may lose that entitlement, but you actually still experience that entitlement as a value that you've received, and it actually drew you to that school because of that entitlement, even if it's lost. So if you're thinking about lowering price, consider a few of these other strategies. These value-added promotions, upselling, loss leaders, and entitlement marketing. For more tips on how to better leverage your marketing and increase the perceived value of your products or services, just click below for our free guide and audio programs. This is Dan Droz here at the Droz Zone. Now, let's get out there and sell something.